We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
What happens is a feeling of impatience, sort of, in other words, as you take pleasure in your vision, if you can keep yourself from turning and looking at the reality and then feeling the absence of what you've created in your vision. And this is the only thing that is a little bit tricky about this process of lining up energy, is that the better job you do of lining it up, of finding the feeling place, when you goose up your desire and then you take score and say it is not happening, that's when the yearning comes on. And so all you have to do is keep the yearning down by goosing up the desire. Do you find yourself, as you move through a normal day, we know you think about this often, but do you find yourself thinking about the absence very often? In other words, do you catch yourself holding the thought that is in opposition to what you are wanting? Now, don't overthink it. In other words, letting the cork float is not a big deal. It's bobbing along up there just fine. But sometimes by overthinking it, you hold yourself in this place of wanting something that isn't, wanting something that isn't, wanting something that isn't, that it sort of turns on you vibrationally. In other words, you find yourself, without even meaning to, identifying more with the yearning than you do with the bliss of the having. And so we would say to you, you've launched the creation, the universe has heard you, now get about some other projects and don't give it so much attention. We were watching Esther recently. They had a little situation that occurred, and as Esther was giving it her attention, she could tell by the way she felt that she was not putting her attention where she wanted it to be. And yet she felt compelled to give her attention to this. It was as if it had a momentum of its own going, and it kept calling her to this place she did not want to be. And like you see, the more you want something, the more, when you're living something that's not a vibrational match to what you want, the bigger it looms in your experience, and so the more it often calls you. And so she was trying to figure out how to get her attention off of this, but the more she tried to get her attention off of this, the more her attention was on it. And she remembered a movie that she had seen many years ago, Ghostbusters. Did you see it? And in the movie, she recalls the evil woman telling them that whatever they thought about would be in their experience. And so they were all going to try to hold their thoughts with nothing. And then Esther can still laugh as she remembers the big marshmallow man romping through the city, as that was the only thing that he put his mind on, the most easy, harmless thing that he could think of, and this very large marshmallow man is now trampling through the city. And so Esther discovered that whenever she finds herself focusing upon something that's not a match to what she wants, she can focus on the marshmallow man, which is a sort of light, comfortable bridge into thinking about what she is wanting. In other words, it's harmless, and yet even in its size, it is a little bit cumbersome. So we would encourage you to find something like that, where you can comfortably and humorously distract yourself from something not wanted, bringing you back to your place of well-being. The most important thing we want you to hear from us, you only have to tell the universe once. And you've done such a good job. The reason that you may want to talk about it more and more and more is because the more you talk about it, the more you clarify what you are wanting. And so go there for the pleasure of being there, but don't go there because you think you need to work on it more. In other words, go there for pleasure, or go someplace else in your mind, but you don't have to stay there and hammer that. In other words, the universe will take care of it.